Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates. Inside Story Uganda.
President yampandikira baluwa nangamba reprint all our books omukono agaana central president ne president nabagamba ndi musajja mumuwe ekyuma ekipya n'obukofiira yabwambala olabanga abwambala omukoya yingirawo n'alema ng'alowooza mu suffocate last night they resolved we should send somebody to talk to him. Send nakalima mukube mwaso mutwe muweze nalwiso mukube mwaso mutwe gumuweze inanja mutu. I will kill him. We shall never work. Chengendo kola nti meeting ya mwiyo neye nakwesatu. I'm going to send the what have capitated in your meetings. Noyo kumwalo wonze
omusika ani abadde omusumisi
ngenda kubimba
mulumbo
byonna ngenda
soko sema ekitabu
ate basobola okunzita babatta
awali agala kutulaga ki
nabagamba
musemusana guli muntamu.
The 1980 elections were proceeded by a wave of insecurity that was intended to intimidate the opposition. Many opposition candidates were arrested. Prominent among them was Sam Kalega Njuba before he fled to the bush. Njuba was picked from Wirale at the current Constitution Square and arrested for days. Upon his release, he joined the UPM and later fled to the bush together with his wife Margaret Njuba. The killer squad introduced a bus which later came to be known as Mpawa Talikava, meaning everyone will grieve. Medical doctors at Mulago Hospital were targeted. Obote's cousin, who at that time had joined the Democratic Party, nzisirabanga yo bali gye bawagundi muganda Obote atali akena tokono mulala yani nechoni police yamuteekako bani nga tayogera.
Nechoni yali wamanye
Nechoni could not address rallies as DP. I was the DPUC wing, chairman of the DPUC wing in 1980.
Where?
We in the DPN. I used to meet I remember asking the Kawango no Mutu, how come as a DP allowed 10 UPCs, former UPCs to join us? Ebusoga. Kawanga nanganti there is nobody who can defect from a ruling party. Nemubuza what if you don't win? Irabadayo. Tozanyisanga mukube. Irabadayo. Kubanga argument was nti DP egenda kuwangula akalu. Kawanga's argument was that nti no politician can defect from a ruling party. They do. There are no women who fulfill from marriages of rich people. Nechoni bamuteekako ban. Samu Kalega Njuba bamukwatya ku Constitution Square sebogeri natukakasa nti tugenda kola kyonna tumujjeyo kagati Museveni yamuyamba n'avaayo era n'ajoininga UPM. Nkugamba nti bateekawo basi nga bagiyita Mpawa Talikava yatambulanga essaawa 3 ez'ekiro neeyiwa abantu ku Nabunya gwesanga atambula ng'emukuba bamutira ku Nabunya omulamba ne bagisuulawo. And the driver of this bus was known. Doctors were killed at Mulago. They were going to strike 1980. Mbo abajasi ba amini be batta abantu.
Twali kipya kitaliwo kati
kitaliwo. Yajja ku Constitution Square. Ba najja mukazo yajja atamidde. I remember very well. Bateke birango ku radio. The president wa Uganda agenda kwogera. Even web of insecurity. Binayisa yagamba ine kikazi nga bakiyita mere nkata. Chimere nkata kyayatikira nnyo myaka gyenkaaga mbotole kyali kirabika myanga kyaye bintu byabayinza kakati yeje nakyo nekimugamba birayisa n'agamba let me make a statement.
From where?
Make a two important statements. Abantu ne balinda. One, I've dismissed Idi Amin from the army. kituyamba kye ku insecurity twatuka nti agenda goboyito njoko n'agamba I have brought a magnet. Those of you who are keeping illegal guns, this magnet is going to attract all of these guns with you.
Propaganda. Propaganda.
People started walking
because
the soldiers who were killing Ugandans knew very well that there was no way that magnet did not exist. Even the following day, they killed the people. Although Amazon kuja mu security mugundi nkugamba nti doctors at Mulago Democratic many opposition supporters were coerced to join the UPC to save their lives. It was this political situation which forced the DP to ignore calls of extending the 1980 general elections. Extending the elections meant extending the suffering of the people, leaders and supporters alike. The killings and detentions were intended to demonstrate their power and the influence of UPC. Although the UPC blamed this on former Mwiine soldiers, the truth was that perpetrators were elements in the army. For example, the bus operated every day around the same time between 8 and 10 p.m. and dumped the dead bodies at the same place. The bus driver was well known and it had a permanent dumping place for the dead at Nabunya near Ndeba. If it was the work of usual criminals, security forces would ambush the bus at Nabunya and arrest the killers. This indicates that it was the work of security forces. When Dr. Kaira addressed a rally along Entebbe Road, it was Namasuru, urging people to vote for DP so that it tries or vote for crimes of his regime, including abolition of Uganda Kingdom. Security forces hunted until we fled to Kenya. Kaira Yagamba Vanang Mulonde DP Obote Tumupunane Misamu. And Obote spent most of his time in northern Uganda. Obote was campaigning in Ruo. Obote yine motokazi zatambula nazo nga ziriko UWO Uganda wants Obote
zonna
convoy ye UWO Uganda wants Obote. He was behaving like a real Obote
Bagamanti Natulini yakula Uganda shawa Natuli
observers
UIN
Opolo leaders Obote refused to meet the observers. He said they are here on a jubilation. Obote yakana kakati nkugamba nti until it was kakati mbagamba nti at this time that Museveni, who was the vice chairman of the military commission, was arrested at Kawempe. It was alleged that the car in which Museveni and his wife were traveling was followed by another car owned by a senior UPD, a senior UNLA, but officer who ordered for his arrest. Museveni bamukwata ku road block nga ye vice president.
Chewunyisa.
He was rescued by NASA forces. Ne batta n'omusajja w'omulala baali bamuyita Lieutenant Colonel ne bamutya Makerere to weaken him. Ne nkugamba all of that time Museveni was threatening to go to the bush if elections were rigged. It is not clear how news of his detention reached his foreign colleagues who rescued him. Lieutenant Colonel Muhinda, yes, it's called Lieutenant Colonel Muhinda. A known ally of Yoweri Museveni was killed in Makerere University. It seems that although that Obote downplayed Museveni's bush was threats, David Yaito Choka and Paulo Muhangu took Museveni seriously. Museveni states in his book that he was not interested in the elections, but he was pushed by other people like Bidandi said. Museveni states that he wanted the UPC to mismanage the elections and seize the opportunity to fight Obote. He also says that he had surrendered his 70,000 soldiers for retraining at Kabam as required by the government, had been removed from Defense Ministry to Ministry of Regional Cooperation where he had no work. Obote responded that there was no way Museveni could return to fight the government when he had never been fought. Okujerega abantu wakati bakaita Mwiine Uganda baga Museveni buyali ku scout. By the time they came here, Museveni yalina abajasi kasanvu Era 2 incidents happened.
You go and kill that scout.
Waliwo
oyagamba ngoboti.
Amakamande yasooka aliwo muyitaani bwe bajja Museveni mu security ministry bayagala to stage ekku Museveni n'ababuuza kati mmwe mwani abamanyi abo mwogera nti muwambi gavumenti ani abamanyi kuluddawo gundi otafiire n'amugamba ti mundu zaffe tetuziwaayo tuzikweke Museveni n'amugamba nti if we want guns we shall get guns
anytime
emundu tuziweeyo kuba bajja tulekowasa nti we are planning a war.
Ayati yabera ko mu kifo kitali mu mundu
nkugamba
yali musajja ali strategic
Museveni however there was no way a non-fighter would be interested with the defense ministry. Bagamba nti Museveni yalwana, how could he become a member, a vice president of the electoral for the military commission and minister of state for defense? Immediately after the war, Obote was very insecure and he had no direct control over the government and the army because the two were under Paulo Mwanga and Wito Joko respectively. Statements Obote made at that time showed a mind of a man always on the defensive. He lacked confidence in his abilities. Therefore, when he said that if Museveni dared to go to the bush, UPC would follow him and leave him there, Obote was avoiding the question of credibility of elections. His election and those of his people showed he wanted to retain power. Akati mbagamba dangerous signals.
Dangerous signals before the 1980 elections.
Baga compare 1980 nakana kaluka bya musaya bamwitana nababulira nabaga look what dangerous signals and I was ignored. Look what dangerous signals between 1980 and this election. The Electoral Commission of 1980 was appointed by Paulo Mwanga without even consulting stakeholders. Uganda was divided into 124 constituencies. However, the constituencies were not based on the population living in those areas as per the norm. UPC took advantage of gerrymandering and created the various constituencies in areas they were sure they had supported, such as Apache North, Apache South, Apache Northwest, Apache West. In this election, constituencies were gerrymandered. This
very much. Everything.
The ICC has added an additional 70 people on the area ones.
The 32.
Bamwine bamulaba mu uniform. Bamwine yagenda ngajjako program zange ngono mulenza mutumi. Bamwine kwali. Ala tisiwe masaka kwali. Bamwine kwali. Ate bo ICC.
Babeta mujali mutili bwezi kyezamani. Abadabe kolera mu
Mugambi yayambala bali n'abakolera mu sibe si Bobi Wine. These people had somebody inside the government who was doing this. Ngababa kuba bamwine bamwine yetegekero bamwine mwali mubala
gwanga alitamudde
mulisi namulabye enjawulo yagenda ngagenda jako program muzeyi yamuchaye kati omusajja yamuvudde bamwine prepare uli mutembi abatembi b'ennyonyi uli mutembi bamwine mutembi
banagirinya balaga wanga bachabaganya kugirinya
nkugamba the 1980 the gerrymandered elections. My constituencies. Even here they gerrymandered.
The recent one.
Era nekirita n'oyo omusajja obuzibu oyo yali minister. N'ava mweno nadda mweno.
Bamusonza buzunza.
Ayagala baali babiri. Waliwo omuvuka avudde mu State House. Baga nti ajjamu obwa minister. Ne bakolagana n'ono ka muntu bamu blocking yalage mu municipality. Kati ate gundi yamukubye. Kiwala politics tabalibwa. Kati ensumba yamukubye ate.
The
whole of Busoga region had 11 MPs. Mpigi district in Uganda, which included Mpigi, Butambala and Wakiso, had only 4 MPs. Kampala City had only 4 MPs. Interestingly, as elections approached, cabinet as elections approached, cabinet continued increasing the number of constituencies obviously for support. Nankabirwa yakikola. Nankabirwa buzibu bwe. Namugamba Nankabirwa was once my friend.
Abijjawa ye, abijjawa nga tinamulagidde.
Tutumako mu America. N'atutuma n'omuntu omu. Omuntu yakomako airport sente n'azitubbako. You know what it means to go to America without money? Nankabirwa yakwata sente ezibayita ez'ekikazi.
N'akuwa $1,000. N'akuwa 10.
N'alumba. Bwe nali ndimuddiza nga tukomyewo n'agaana. Naye Nankabirwa namugamba, Nankabirwa kangobooli. Balanga ekirango nga bawandiika abaana be batwala ebweru nti okulira ne Wabenisa Nankabirwa wanudde Rwanza. Kakati
awe nyine njagala okusimbuliza
kakati case ya organism has resumed today. Baba wa wiki 3
ziweddeko asa tumwababiri
naye asa tumwababiri 11 be babadde mu meeting.
Etteeka lino libanise okwagala ebbako lino likuyambirawa
ebbago
lize lwakuba nti enteekateeka eno gyokola
bazanyira ku bazungu nti kusaddaaka. This is not kusaddaaka. Baleeta luline ligaana ebyo byonna mweyongera kuti if you have started 2 people who are ready before the eyes for extracting organs started to kati mwebali mu serere
extractions tekuba kusaddaaka
and 150 are under investigations. 62 of your surgeons are under investigations. Kati okuleta etteeka kibayamba ki? You are implicating government. Mbu bagamba ti fesibe baliko bagamba basaddaasi. Mbuliayo omusawo Muganda tugatte namba y'abasawo Abaganda bali bateeka abantu 10,000. Kati ne parliament bagibensinga. That's why you are going to get more sanctions. Sanctions are coming. Listen to me. Nkugamba nti the current electoral commission is facing credibility challenges, mainly from the conduct of its chairman. Ino nagiwandiika ti oyo omusajja abasse byalugaba ate yali wa kampu eno y'abaana ba yali yamuvubuka omuko yamuteekamu
abayisaawo ate muko ama influence ajijjawa
yali awambyewo yalina gavumenti ye yakubisizale wekibali
ekitabo kyaffe kiri kyewawandiseeko
ate kati adduka
yoli gwawandiseeko
kati bo badduse bagambye bukaba negotiating n'Abamerika. This is what Paulo Mwanga did. Paulo adduka ku motoka yafa
ajiboka
bana abazungu bali kati bategeera nti there is panic in Uganda.
Aboka ku motoka yafa
kati bo bagambye
nende unya influence jaji ko kantina solo kutaka nga ateka omuntu wa
ani amuwa. The current election commission is facing credibility challenges mainly from the conduct of his chairman Justice Simon Byabakama. First and foremost, he is new in the job. The law requires that the commission should retire after organizing 2 elections. I think this was intended to inject no blood in the commission, but it is wastage of experience. It would have been better for commissioners to retire after reaching the retirement age for civil servants. This would ensure that experience and continuity because each election comes with its challenges and therefore requires experienced hands. Kadibana kachiiko ate lwakojo bwe yali gisalinga ekibiina kya Mwiine ate muzeeyi yanyiga n'abagobamu.
Uganda ilifuna kodi ku independent electoral commission
nga ono novice
enejifuna kodi
ne gender balancing baleta mukulu wa somero akakiiko ne kafa. That's why bakomiting ebintu bingi. How can the chairman of the electoral commission nominate a person who is barefooted? How could a chairman of the electoral commission allow people to beat a candidate like a Bobby Wine in its premises? Amateurism. Yes.
Justice Olamba.
Yes.
Yatagala.
Yes.
Engato yayambala nene.
Yes.
Ngate mutuka.
Yes.
Lwakoje era musinga.
Nkugamba.
Yandikoze bisinga kawo.
Yes. Nti in addition to being a novice in election management, Justice Byabakama has a bad record. He was involved in a futile attempt to malign Dr. Keza Besigye in a rape case which flopped. No lawyer or DPP could judge Besigye or any other person with rape based on evidence collected 2 years earlier. Rape and the nominations depend on fresh evidence. The important ingredients in such cases are penetration, forceful penetration, bruises, in case there is a struggle, or semen. stuck inside the woman. This cannot be established after 2 years. Like Byabakama did. Rape victims advised not to beg. The case, therefore, was a holding charge intended to embarrass Dr. Besigye and deny him ample time to campaign. Nayo kiraba nti Besigye yakolaga
n'ekyo biswaza
ani kugambye nti Besigye teyalikkiriza opposition teyalikkiriza musajja afaanana bw'ati but Besigye nabana abaana bali omuntu okwo kyobola Besigye aleeta Museveni obuzibu n'akolagana n'aba military intelligence n'eyiso n'abagamba mu eriyo plan B etaliyo
good working
ne bakwata abaana ne babayoola
nakati bakyalibedde makomera
president bamutiisa nti bazikulu bange bagenda okwokya ekibuga Museveni never directed these people to detain people to beat them up. Museveni's suggestion was that preempt the banning of the city, put them in areas where we teach them and we give them money and they can do other business.
Now njakubuza ekibuzo kimu mwa mitama
no
njagala kubuza lwaki president Museveni pronouncing ku bintu ebisinga
ate nkugambye what do you do? The intelligence has brought you information credible. Era bagende yaba abasajja mu meeting yabo bagambye nti ekibi kya Mirundi Museveni yamulagira kubanga during the elections we went there abava mu Wakiso abava mu Mpigi abava mu Buganda tie bwe twamugamba nti Mirundi has crossed the red line, he is supporting Bobi Wine yashira gingo yabaga nti Kisobo Mirundi is intelligent tasobola kuwagira Bobi Wine, you don't understand him nti he directed heads of security to talk to me, which they did. Yate bote bambulira ikitegeze bana basajja bamunda
wangamba nti abasajja bagezi bayingirire mu parliament
bagamba
ne bakola bena byabwe kati.
Secondly, the blunder the commissioner has committed is to try to negotiate with the political parties, which is not their role. Its role is to organize the elections and announce the results. The only time to interact with the political parties is at the same time nominations. It should be the government interacting with the inter-party forum to harmonize political party demands, not the electoral commission. Solving wrangles within the political parties is not the role of the commission. The commission's other role is to mobilize the voters to participate in the election. Actually, the commission takes the charge of candidates, not just aspirants who have not been nominated. It's like a headmaster caring about a student who was not enrolled into his school. But once the child becomes a student, he is given a copy of the guidelines at the headquarters. Nemukuba mwagamba nti omuntu yenna ali nominated afulufizibwe agende for consultation Bobi Wine mu Muganda
teyagenda abantu wonna
nolaba
bamulemeso genda embaali
bakubye ekifaananyi kyaba Mwiine ng'ali mu uniform ya poliisi era abasajja bakikogerako Abamerika ate kana akawala kaagana Bobi Wine okuyingira ekiryandongo ani yakakuba ekifaananyi
kakwanako kandite.
That's why I'm saying
is the gateway to
you are not fighting Bobi Wine.
Gateway to northern Uganda.
There is a Paulo Muwanga in the government.
Nolensonga eyo
bagambye nti bamanyi nti mbakwata. We should not eliminate this man and we should not shed blood on anybody. This is a political manipulation. Never kasinga Uncle Sam. Omanyi buli disparate. President yabugoba. Nona ate n'abugoba. Uncle Sam. Kakati nibo beera cornered. They are being driven by isolation. Yes. Naye babuyite bwogere nabo what is isolation to say that Mwenda, I want to tell you I can predict it that Mwenda, when this government follows, you will see Mwenda going to America and given all facilities. I cannot rule out Mwenda yabalimu mu elections.
Ekintu kyemmanyi eggwanga lyonna n'ensenda zonna zize zitambuzibwa abavubuka abatoto mu myaka egy'abantu bokonako. Lwaki bano omusaba gwonoonye nnyo?
Anti bo baalowoleza mu money. These people have a problem of money and success after success. They have the media. Nze mbalemye era tetuliddamu nagende ewaffe mu nsozi temusuubirayo kannakamu temusuubira ntulikkiriziganyako n'olunaku lumu temusuubira nti ku nsi kuliko asobola okundagira
kiriyo
There are people you never see in life. I say we can only meet in a mass grave, a prison cell, on a flight which I cannot forego. Nete tulida akwata munne mu ngalo yafa. Tetusobola kuddamu
kusinkana.
Ne batu
baka kulina kulwa kiyama.
Je wange mutayimbo mutwe. Mulenzi goli okotegeere. Tibuchojoga kwolo wajoga mu atajogeka.
No reconciliation.
Munzite mulabi. Kulolo mwajoga mu atajogewa. Temutanga mukujo kujoga baba na baba nafe tulina banyafu okulamu mu abantu
bakati tambula bulungi
ne aba bagamba nti yogera mu Olungereza it is a translation of what I had earlier spoken in Uganda.
Wow ekyo nno nakyo bajja kuba bongero kitegeera obulungi ennyo Ssaabasajja Kabaka awangaale
muto timbo tatimbo